In a world where mysteries abound and the truth often eludes us, there lies an enigma that has puzzled both the public and experts for decades: the Zodiac Killer. Imagine receiving a letter, not of friendship or love, but a cryptic message from a shadow lurking in the dark, boasting of his misdeeds and challenging the mightiest minds to decode his identity. This is no fiction. This is the chilling reality of the Zodiac Killer, a figure who stepped right out of a nightmare and into the annals of true crime history. Today we embark on a journey into the depths of this mystery, unraveling the story of a killer who became a legend, leaving behind a trail of sorrow, fear, and unsolved codes that continue to captivate and horrify to this very day. Before we dive into the heart of darkness that is the Zodiac Killer's legacy, let's set the stage for one of the most perplexing criminal cases in American history. In the late 1960s and early 1970s, Northern California became the hunting ground for a predator unlike any before. This was a time of cultural revolution, of peace and love, but it also became a backdrop for a series of chilling murders that would forever haunt the region. The Zodiac Killer, as he came to call himself, didn't just kill. He taunted police and the public with letters, ciphers, and phone calls, creating a persona that seemed to mock the very efforts to capture him. His identity, motives, and even the full extent of his crimes remain shrouded in mystery. As we peel back the layers of this case, we confront not just the details of the crimes, but the societal impact they had and the obsession they sparked across generations. To truly understand the Zodiac saga, we must first immerse ourselves in the era that birthed this shadowy figure. The late 1960s and early 1970s were a time of seismic shifts in American culture, marked by political unrest, the Vietnam War, and the counterculture movement. It was against this backdrop of societal upheaval that the Zodiac began his reign of terror, choosing victims seemingly at random and striking fear into the heart of communities across Northern California. His first confirmed attacks were on young couples in secluded areas, a modus operandi that would become chillingly familiar as the case unfolded. But the Zodiac was not content with anonymity. He craved public attention, sending letters and ciphers to newspapers, claiming more victims than the police could confirm, and challenging investigators to decode his messages. This complex interplay of murder, communication, and cryptology transformed the Zodiac case from a series of brutal crimes into a dark puzzle that has intrigued and baffled the world for decades. As we delve deeper into the Zodiac's reign of terror, we encounter a story that is as complex as it is horrifying. The Zodiac's first known murders occurred in the late 1960s, beginning a cycle of violence that would continue for years. He targeted young couples in secluded areas, each attack seemingly more brazen than the last. But it was not just the murders themselves that captured the public's imagination. It was the Zodiac's interaction with the media and law enforcement. He sent letters to newspapers, some containing ciphers he claimed held the key to his identity, others admitting to the murders and promising more. The most chilling aspect of the Zodiac's communications was his tone of mockery and superiority. He taunted the police for their inability to catch him, offered clues that led to dead ends, and seemed to revel in the fear and fascination that he generated. Among his communications were ciphers, including the infamous 340-character cipher that remained unsolved for over 50 years. These cryptic messages became a focal point of the Zodiac mystery, a symbol of the killer's cunning and the desperation of those trying to catch him. The investigation into the Zodiac murders was extensive, involving multiple law enforcement agencies and some of the best detectives and cryptographers of the time. Despite their efforts and the occasional breakthrough, the Zodiac remained always one step ahead, his identity a question mark that loomed large over the case. Over the years, several suspects were considered, but none could be definitively linked to all the crimes attributed to the Zodiac. The story of the Zodiac Killer is not just a narrative of murder and mystery. It's a saga that raises profound questions about identity, justice, and our collective fascination with the unknown. It's a story that compels us to look deeper, to question not just the facts of the case, but the very nature of evil itself. As we explore the depths of the Zodiac mystery, we find ourselves confronted with the unsettling reality that some puzzles may never be solved, that some shadows may never be fully illuminated. The core of the Zodiac Killer's story is enveloped in a thick fog of conflict and mystery, a relentless game of cat and mouse that unfolds between the killer and those hunting him. The tension is palpable, not just in the brutal nature of his crimes, but in the cryptic communication he maintains with the outside world. Each letter, each cipher sent to the press serves as both a tantalizing clue and a mocking taunt, a challenge to those trying to catch him that seems to say, "You will never find me." The mystery deepens with the Zodiac's apparent need for recognition, his desire to control the narrative of his own mythos. He claims responsibility for more murders than can be confirmed, blurring the lines between truth and fabrication, and leaving us to wonder, how many did he truly kill? His ciphers, particularly the 340-character cipher, become a symbol of this tension, a puzzle that, if solved, might offer a glimpse into the mind of a killer, or so we hope. Yet, its solution eludes the brightest minds for decades, adding to the frustration and fascination that surround the case. The conflict extends beyond the immediate hunt for the Zodiac. It touches on the very essence of justice and closure. For the victims' families, the unresolved nature of the case is a constant source of pain and uncertainty. For the investigators, it's a professional challenge that, at times, crosses into the realm of obsession. And for the public, the Zodiac Killer becomes a figure of almost mythical proportions, a boogeyman who could be anyone, anywhere. This tension between the need to solve the case and the elusive nature of the Zodiac creates a dynamic that is both captivating and horrifying. It raises questions about the limits of our understanding and the depths of human malice. As we explore the mystery of the Zodiac Killer, we are drawn into a labyrinth of clues and dead ends, a journey that challenges our perceptions of truth and justice in a world where some evils remain defiantly out of reach. The hunt for the Zodiac Killer has been long and tough. Police and FBI worked hard, looking at every letter and secret code he sent, hoping to find a clue to catch him. They tried to understand his messages, looking for any small hint that might lead them to him. Even with new science and tech, finding out who the Zodiac really is has been really hard. Lots of people, not just police, got interested in this mystery. With the internet, many started to share ideas and theories, hoping to crack the case together. This shows how much the Zodiac case pulls people in, making everyone from experts to regular folks want to help solve it. Even with all this effort, finding the Zodiac has been like chasing a ghost. There were times they thought they were close, looking at suspects, but then finding out they didn't match. New tools like DNA tests gave hope, but still no final answer. This search shows how much people want to solve mysteries, help the victims and their families, and finally put an end to this scary story. Over the years, many theories and guesses have come up about who the Zodiac Killer might be and why he did those terrible things. Some people think he might have had special training, like in the military, because of the way he was able to avoid getting caught and how he made his secret codes. Others wonder if there were actually two or more people working together, not just one, because the descriptions of him sometimes didn't match. Another big theory is that the Zodiac was really Arthur Lee Allen, a man who lived in the area of the murders. He owned the same kind of boots that left tracks at a crime scene and had a watch with the same symbol the Zodiac used. But even with these clues, tests couldn't prove he was the killer. There's also a new hope that science might finally solve the mystery. Just like how the Golden State Killer was found using DNA and family tree research, some think the same methods could unmask the Zodiac. Yet, even with all these theories, nothing has been proven for sure. These guesses show how much people want to understand and solve the Zodiac mystery. Each theory tries to make sense of the little information we have, but the true answer is still out there waiting to be discovered. As we close the chapter on the Zodiac Killer's haunting saga, we're left with a narrative that has not only gripped the nation with fear, but also with a profound sense of mystery. Despite the passage of time, the efforts of countless investigators, and the advent of groundbreaking forensic techniques, the true identity of the Zodiac remains one of the great unsolved enigmas. This enduring mystery captivates us, not merely because of the terror he instilled, but because of the complex puzzles he left behind, a macabre challenge that endures to this very day. The tale of the Zodiac Killer transcends mere criminal investigation. It's a deep, unsettling reminder of human complexity and the sometimes insurmountable challenges of our quest for justice. It underscores the relentless pursuit of truth, the never-ending fight to remember the victims, and the ongoing hope that advancements in forensic science might someday provide answers to mysteries as confounding as this. As we conclude, we embrace the hope that justice might one day prevail, that the enigmatic Zodiac will be revealed, and that the families of the victims will finally receive the closure they deserve. The quest for answers marches on, a symbol of our perpetual journey towards understanding and resolving the shadows cast by such unresolved tales. Subscribe for more.